In the entire history of the NBA, it's rare, but not unheard of, for a league MVP to go his entire career without even reaching the finals as the team's best player. James Harden is on that path. Sure, he technically made the finals once, back in 2012 with OKC, when he was the sixth man behind Durant and Westbrook. But since becoming the guy, since becoming an MVP, a scoring champion, and one of the most feared offensive players in basketball, he's never been back. For over a decade, James Harden has racked up Hall of Fame numbers, MVP votes, scoring titles, and YouTube mixtapes. And yet somehow, every postseason, the same question returns. Why does James Harden always choke in the playoffs? So let's be honest. Harden's overall playoff resume isn't the worst we've seen. He's made the postseason every year of his career since 2010. He's been to 4 conference finals. He's faced dynasties, injuries, and loaded Western brackets. But none of that erases the fact that when the moment is brightest, Harden has come up small, again and again. Especially in closeout games. Game 6s, Game 7s, where legacies are made or broken. Let's take a look. 2012 NBA Finals, Game 5. Still a sixth man then, but his finals performance? Awful. 10 points, 4 of 13 shooting. OKC loses the title. 2015 Western Conference Finals, Game 5 versus the Warriors. Harden commits 13 turnovers, still an NBA playoff record.
Harden goes back door, runs into Curry.
Rockets eliminated. 2017 Western Semis, Game 6 versus the Spurs. No Kawhi, no Tony Parker. And Harden, in an elimination game at home, puts up 10 points, 2 for 11 shooting, 6 turnovers. Blowout loss.
For the crazy numbers, getting a nice ovation from a lot of the fans who remain.
2018 Western Conference Finals, Game 7 versus the Warriors. Harden's Rockets missed 27 straight threes, many of them his.
They are in their grill. Here's Harden, way off.
He shoots 2 for 13 from deep, and the best shot at beating Golden State dies right there. 2021 Eastern Conference Semis versus the Milwaukee Bucks. Playing through a hamstring injury, Harden managed 22 points, 9 rebounds, and 9 assists in a Game 7 overtime loss, shooting 5 of 17 from the field. 2022 East Semis, Game 6 versus Miami. 0 points in the second half, in a must-win game. He takes just 2 shots after halftime. The Sixers go home.
And the Miami Heat, for the second time in the last 3 years, going to the Eastern Conference Final.
2023 East Semis, Game 7 versus the Celtics. After 2 massive 40-point games earlier in the series, Harden melts down. 9 points, 3 for 11 shooting, 5 turnovers.
And they need a quick.
Tatum scores 51. Philly collapses. 2025 Western Conference first round versus the Denver Nuggets. In the most recent Game 7, Harden tallied 7 points on 2 of 8 shooting, though he did contribute 13 assists. The Clippers suffered a decisive 120-101 loss, marking another early playoff exit.
And it's on to the second round for the Nuggets, and a meeting with the top seed in the West.
Game after game, year after year, we see the same trend. When the moment gets tighter, Harden's game gets smaller. And that's the problem. This isn't about one bad series or a fluke off night. This is about a Hall of Fame player, one of the greatest offensive guards ever, repeatedly falling apart when it's win or go home. It's easy to write off James Harden's playoff shortcomings as just bad luck or cold shooting nights. But when it happens over and over again, across teams, teammates, and eras, it's not a fluke. It's a pattern. So what's behind it? Theory 1, the pressure melts him. Let's start with the obvious. Harden just hasn't shown up in the biggest moments. When the lights are brightest and the game slows down, Harden tends to shrink. Unlike players who elevate their game in clutch moments, Harden's performances often become more tentative. He passes up good shots. He hesitates, and it's visible. The deeper into a playoff series we go, games 6 and 7 especially, the more Harden struggles.
Here's Harden for three. And can't find it. Butler lost his shoe.
Whether it's mental fatigue, fear of the moment, or lack of confidence, something seems to change. He's not the same aggressive player we see all year long.
You're being just willfully ignorant of the most important thing a player has got to be. A player has to matter when it matters most, and he hasn't, largely.
Theory 2, his game is too predictable. Another major factor is how easy it becomes to game plan for Harden in a playoff series. In the regular season, teams are flying city to city with barely a day to prep. Harden's stepbacks, foul-drawing tactics, and isolation-heavy offense are incredibly hard to stop without focused planning. But in the playoffs, you're facing the same team for 2 weeks straight. Eventually, defenders catch on. It's the same thing we just saw with Jalen Brunson in the 2025 Eastern Conference Finals. He carried New York through the first 2 rounds, but by the time the Pacers locked in on him, they knew exactly what was coming. The offense stalled, and Brunson struggled under that attention.
Brunson crashes into the knee and has a rim out.
The same has happened to Harden, repeatedly. His signature style, drive or step back 3, becomes easier to anticipate the deeper the series goes. And when refs stop calling tic-tacky fouls, he doesn't adapt.
But he's fouled by Thompson, who picked up number 4.
Theory 3. He's satisfied with just being James Harden. This one's controversial, but it's hard to ignore. Harden has a reputation in NBA circles, fair or not, as a guy who likes the lifestyle more than the grind. Dozens of stories about his love for nightlife, club appearances, and general off-court fun. And let's be honest, Harden's made over $300 million. He's won an MVP. He's led the league in scoring. And he's a lock for the Hall of Fame. He's done everything, except win a title. You get the sense that maybe he just doesn't care as much as guys like Kobe or MJ did. Now, that doesn't mean he hasn't worked, or that he doesn't want to win. But it might mean that when it's time to dig deep, to sacrifice more, to lock in for 48 minutes, he doesn't quite have that extra gear. So what will it take for James Harden to finally win a championship? Honestly, nothing short of a miracle. Okay, mostly joking. But in all seriousness, if Harden wants a ring, the formula has to change. Time is running out. He's now in his mid-30s, and the version of him that once danced past defenders and dropped 50 on any given night is fading fast. He's no longer the physical mismatch he once was. Defenders are quicker. Harden's bursts are shorter. And that means he can't just coast into playoff games expecting his usual bag to work.
James Harden drive. Oh, Russell met him at the rim.
Especially when teams are scouting for him 7 straight games. If he wants to stay effective deep into the playoffs, he'll need to level up his conditioning. It's time to prioritize cardio, endurance, and defensive effort, not just ISO scoring and foul drawing, because without sustained energy, Harden fades, and so does his team. Harden has spent most of his career as the system. In Houston, everything revolved around him. It worked well in the regular season, but it's not sustainable when defenses tighten up and every possession is life or death. What he needs now is structure. A coach who holds him accountable. Teammates who don't just defer, but compliment. Think of how Steph thrives in Golden State's motion-heavy system, or how LeBron adapted to playing off AD. If Harden is going to win a title, he can't be the number one option anymore. He needs to play a role and play it well. Finally, and most importantly, Harden needs to want it more. Because right now, it doesn't feel like he has to win a ring. He should want to, but you don't sense that desperation, that obsession, that fire. The greatest players treat playoff losses like trauma. They come back the next season sharper, hungrier, madder.
Pelosi remains on LeBron James, who gets inside, count it, and one. And that's two on Cephalosha.
With Harden, it's like he just moves on. If that mindset doesn't change, the story won't either. So, what do you think it would take for James Harden to have a truly memorable playoff run? Is it a better roster? A reduced role? A system that isn't built entirely around him? Or maybe, has his window already closed? Let us know what you think in the comments. And if you're a Harden believer, don't worry. This isn't hate. It's just the hard truth about what happens when greatness doesn't deliver under pressure. If you're still thinking about what kind of teammate could unlock Harden's game, check out our video on the greatest shooters in NBA history. Or watch KD, a legacy with an asterisk, to learn why his former teammates' rings might not count. Thanks for watching. And if you're enjoying the storytelling here at 3 Point Revolution, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe for more deep dives like this one. We're just getting started.